So, Burnley away, up next. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to them, but I will now, and we have to now, as we look below us in concern. Team news will be updated as and when after news conferences. Team news to start. Burnley captain Josh Cullen recently sustained an ACL injury and is joined on the sidelines by Jordan Bayer with a thigh, Zeki Amdouni with a knee, Connor Roberts with an Achilles, and Mike Tressor with an ankle, whilst Zian Fleming and Joe Worrell will both have knocks assessed ahead of kickoff. For us, Ben Davies with an ankle, Dejan Kulusevski with a knee, James Maddison with a knee, Rodrigo Bentancur with a thigh, Mohamed Kudus with a thigh, Richarlison with a thigh, Lucas Bergwall with an ankle are all out. Mickey van de Ven returns along with Matthias Tel, Radu Dragusin, Yves Bissouma and Conor Gallagher. João Paulina with a knock and Pape Sarr with an illness will be assessed before kickoff. So, formation predictions. I'd expect them to play with the same team as their draw with Liverpool. They have played with a 4-2-3-1 and a 4-4-2, but for the last 5 in the Premier League they have played 5-2-2-1. Breuer seems like their striker of choice at the moment due to injuries and preference, even though Fleming is their joint top scorer. Fleming has been injured recently, but Breuer was still number 1 before that, and this is probably due to Fleming's lack of pace and Burnley needing to play on the break. Hartman is their top assister but is out of favour as a left wing back, maybe due to his height. Esteve seems their best defender and Ugochukwu and Florentino seem like mainstays. In terms of us, I would expect Frank to carry on with the system he used against Dortmund, with a 3-4-2-1 in defence and a 4-2-3-1 in attack. It's still a highly pressurised game for Frank, and this could impact on his system and his team choice. In terms of his system, we are facing 3 at the back again with fast counter-attackers, so it would make sense to stick to 3 at the back in defence. Our worry is that Burnley will break faster than Dortmund, not bothered about possession. This will exploit the time needed to change from one system to another, leaving defenders outnumbered, with Spence unable to get back quickly enough. You would imagine that Gallagher and Van de Ven would come in, and if Paulinho is not fit, Bissouma could well play. Bissouma's impact in the West Ham game, and the fact that he offers much needed deep-lying passing and creativity, could include him. We'll gloss over the fact that he's a liability as a 6. Right, time for my views on those formations. I worry about Frank's desperation and the number of games the players have played and the lack of squad depth. In the predicted team, I worry about Udogie, Siemens, Porro and Solanke in terms of carrying knocks, amount of games and return from injury. The rotated team below would sort that out, with Mouani, Tel and Van de Ven coming in, and the only loser being Porro. I was tempted to put Sousa in and swap Spence, but surely too soon for a 19-year-old. In terms of my choice, I'd rest Solanke and bring him on as a sub, giving Mouani another chance. The same for Siemens, I'm worried about his knock, so Tal plays. Creativity would come from Audebert and Bissouma. Gallagher and Bissouma come in. Van de Ven gives Udogie a rest after returning from injury. Porro plays, but would need to be subbed to give him a rest at some point in the game. I would have liked Paulinho as part of the back 3, but worries about fitness and pace. I went for Danso. I'm concerned about their front 3's pace, so Van de Ven is needed to cover rather than push forward. Danso needs to watch Anthony with his 5 goals and tendency to do the spectacular. Bissouma needs to watch for Ugochukwu with his 3 goals from midfield, and Gallagher pressure Florentino with his 2 assists from midfield. It's important our 2 centre midfielders don't leave our defenders 3-on-3 at the back. Audebert needs to take advantage of any space if Humphreys pushes forward, and Tel needs to try to get Walker 1-on-1. In truth, it might be better if Tell and Odebeer swapped sides. Right, Burnley's scouting strengths. We'll start with their noticeable speed on the break with the front three of Anthony, Breuer and Edwards. And the passing of Florentino as a defensive midfielder and the passing of Bruno Larsen as an attacking midfielder. Watch out for Ugochukwu's interceptions and goals from midfield. With Bruno Larsen, Mejbri and Choyana, there's lots of speed and flair on the bench. Humphreys was noticeable for his runs from the back three and supporting and making an impact. The back three that played in their last game seems quite pacey compared to Dortmund's back three. Anthony is capable of the spectacular. Fleming is their joint top scorer and Hartman is their top assister. So Burnley's areas to exploit. There's noticeable space left on the edge of their penalty area when they're under pressure. Ekdal and Humphreys are slower than the other centre defenders. Hartman is shorter. Due to their five at the back, we can exploit 1v1s versus their wing-backs. If we change to an attacking formation of 4-2-3-1, we will outnumber them in the centre of midfield. In corners, they don't protect their keeper. Walker is ageing as a wing-back and we can exploit this. We can look at the area in front of their defence as the two centre midfielders are not noticeably defensively strong. Runs behind their wing-backs and passes down the side of their back three. They can drop so deep, so shoot from the edge of their box and expect deflections. Humphreys in defence can push forward, so exploit the space behind with runs and long passes. This has been a preview from Dear Tottenham Hotspur. Visit our website for more previews, reviews and thoughts. Yours sincerely and faithfully, come on you Spurs!